Hello, my name is Dr. Tony Page, and for the last 30 years or so, I've been studying, researching, and trying to practice the doctrines of the Mahaparinirvana Sutra. That scripture is the last of the so-called Mahayana scriptures, which the Buddha is said to have communicated on the final day of his physical existence on this earth. And it speaks at great length about what is called the Buddha nature. Now, I would like to speak a little bit myself about the Buddha nature, communicating to you what the Buddha said on that subject. First, we need to know what is in fact this Buddha nature. What does it mean? Well, the Sanskrit term is Buddha Dhatu, and Buddha Dhatu means Buddha element, or Buddha principle, or Buddha factor. In the Mahaparinirvana Sutra of the Mahayana, the Buddha says that this Buddha principle is the essence, the true self of all beings, including animals. And that this true self, this Satya Atman in Sanskrit, is deathless and uncreated. It was not generated through causes and conditions and the coming together of all sorts of strings of karmic force. It was always there, and it will always be there. It's indestructible, like a diamond, the Buddha says. This true self is, in fact, the self of the Buddha, which is buried in all of us beneath the negativities of our character. All the immoralities and the sensual passions, of which I certainly have enough, the undesirable negative qualities of character and mind which block our vision of our true self. And so we remain entrapped within the ego, the false self, the lie, the mendacious self. But the true self is actually the Buddha within us. This true self, or Buddha nature, Buddha Dhatu, or Tathagatagarbha, as it's also called, can be entered into. That's the phrase the Buddha uses, enter into this self. We can do that through stilling the mind, the ordinary mind, through meditation practice, and also through veneration of the Buddha and purging ourselves of the negative qualities of character and morality and mind, the kleshas as they are called, which contaminate our being and block us from sight, from our sight of the Buddha essence, the Buddha nature within us. Now, many Buddhists will feel very uncomfortable with these teachings because they have been taught, whether they are the Gelugpa sect or whether they are Theravada Buddhism adherents, they have been taught that there is no self whatever. There's only emptiness and the non-self. But in the Buddha Nature Sutras, which culminate in the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, Buddha Nature Sutras such as the Angulimala Sutra, the Srimala Simhanada Sutra, the Tathagatagarbha Sutra, and others, the Buddha states that in fact there is a true self, there is the Buddha essence, the Buddha nature, and that it is beyond the realm of the conditioned and the caused and the destructible. The true self is not generated by causes and conditions. Our seeing it, our perceiving it, our entering into it, our becoming aware of it, that is generated through our causes and conditions of practice of the Dharma. But the presence of the Buddha essence, the Buddha nature, the true self, that has no causes or conditions for it. It is always there, always was, and always will be. Now, on my website, Nirvana Sutra, www.nirvanasutra.net, you can find extracts from the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, extracts translated by one of the world's really major Buddhist scholars and translators, Stephen Hodge, whom any self-respecting Buddhist should look up to as someone who really knows his field. And those translations by Stephen Hodge are reliable and of tremendous value. And you can find extracts from them on my website. And we owe a debt of gratitude to Stephen Hodge for his sterling work in the field of Buddhist research and Buddhist translation. As I said, there are some schools of Tibetan Buddhism in particular, the Gelugpas notably, who will disagree with the ideas expressed in those sutras, or they will reinterpret them or try to minimize them or trivialize them or denigrate them in some way. That's for them. They have their approach, and the Buddha Nature Sutras have theirs, which is in which the Buddha speaks words which directly contradict words from the Gelugpa school of Buddhism. So they must answer for themselves. But the Buddha Nature Sutras teach quite clearly and quite categorically that there is an inner reality which is perfect. This links on also, incidentally, to the Dzogchen teachings of Buddhism. There is a reality which is already perfect and pure and blissful within us, and we need to penetrate into, enter into that reality, and once we do that, we are in the realm of the Mahaparinirvana, the absolute, the ultimate, the complete, total nirvana, which cannot ever be destroyed. So I would urge you to read these doctrines of the Buddha nature, the Buddha Dhatu, the Tathagatagarbha, and hope that you will enjoy practicing them and find inner enrichment through the practice. And would like to leave you now with my very best wishes for your progress in what might be called Buddha nature Buddhism or Tathagatagarbha Buddhism. I hope that you will find inspiration in the words of the Buddha and not get sidetracked into the commentaries and commentaries upon commentaries, which sadly is all too often the route taken by particularly Gelugpa Tibetan Buddhists. They have their way. I think they're very sincere. But I have to speak honestly and say that what they teach on these matters does directly and 100% contradict the words of the Buddha, and so I know which person I prefer to stick with and listen to with great reverence and attentiveness. So thank you very, very much for listening to this, and I do wish you all happiness in the Dharma, and hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye to you.